Hello, I'm Simon Tupman. Well, I am at the moment, but on many occasions when I appear at conferences and events, I pretend to be someone else as a corporate imposter. Now, you might be wondering why someone would hire a speaker to come along and pretend to be someone else. Well, there are three good reasons. Firstly, it's a great way to inject some humour at your event. Because, as we all know, so many events are overcome by dryness and technicality. Secondly, it's a very subtle way to convey to an audience an important message. For example, don't get too complacent in your marketplace. And thirdly, it reminds the audience to be continually questioning and discerning about what speakers say on the platform. Now, as an example, take a look at this clip in which I appear as a rather pompous English civil servant addressing a group of somewhat dry accountants at their conference during their lunch break. Behind these doors, here at the Sheraton Hotel in Perth, there are 140 certified practicing accountants who are having lunch. They're expecting a certain Mr. Nigel Baldrick to turn up to speak to them after lunch. They're going to get a bit of a surprise, of course, because we're going to do a little bit of leg pulling. Are they ready for me? So let's go in and have a look, shall we? Privatisation, of course, is nothing new. As far back as 1776, Adam Smith emphasised its economic value. Recent examples include the prison service, British Rail and the post office. In each case, the government concluded that it made sense to set and maintain the standards of each department and then to contract out to private companies to bid for the rights to handle the operational side, whether it be managing a jail, running the rail or simply delivering the mail. In short, ladies and gentlemen, the inland revenue is now ripe for sell-off. This was an unthinkable concept 15 years ago, and may well be to some of you here today. Now it is a reality. As of midnight GMT last night, the Treasury has formally announced its intention to seek tenders to manage, market and maintain the inland revenue. Three principal organisations are reported by the Financial Times to be ready to take the government up on its invitation. They are Richard Branson's Virgin Group, which has already diversified successfully into financial services and also into the running of the North West link of British Rail, Ernst & Young and the Post Office. Each has intensively lobbied the Treasury over the past few months, and indeed myself, with, I understand, the guidance of certain members of Sydney's Olympic Committee. Topic of conversation here, I gather. A system of incentives has also been canvassed involving Diners Club, whereby tax can be paid using charge cards, unheard of course, until now, thereby simply encouraging early payment and generating frequent flyer points in conjunction. It's a good scheme, this, I tell you. This development has inevitably attracted considerable interest in Canberra, and I understand that a similar proposal in Australia may well be a political hot potato. However, in spite of this country's aspirations of independence, I do believe that Britain still rules the waves when it comes to economic reform. I hope you do too. However, ladies and gentlemen, change is inevitable. Since 1960, we have seen the Berlin Wall dismantled. We have seen a convicted terrorist become President of South Africa. We have seen a woman as Prime Minister of Britain. We have seen visionaries like John Howard lead Australia towards the new millennium. Shakespeare once wrote, "Jesters do oft prove prophets." Ladies and gentlemen, my real name, of course, isn't Nigel Baldrick. It is Simon Tupman, and while it's been my pleasure jesting with you today, don't say you haven't been warned. Thank you very much.
My name is Greg French, and I'm from the Australian Society of CPAs. We just had an outstanding presentation by Simon Tupman to our delegates. We had over 160 people at a lunch here. We set Simon up for a hoax and it went over really well. Thanks very much, Simon, and I recommend for your corporate event to use Simon in the future.
Well, since I was a child, I somehow seem to have had this talent to be able to mimic people and take on accents. At conferences, I've appeared as a Scottish racehorse breeder, as an American environmental waste management expert from California, and as a Sherman management consultant, and many more as well. So if you'd like to do something a little different at your next event and introduce that much needed surprise and element of humour, then I encourage you to call the number that appears on this page. I look forward to hearing from you, and I promise you it will be a lot of fun.